Hey everybody, it's John. I collect cards. I hope you're all doing well. It's Saturday, January 21st, and earlier today, this morning actually, I went to the card show here in my hometown in Kalamazoo, Michigan, and picked up actually I didn't pick up too many things, but I picked up an very interesting thing that I wasn't expecting to find or even really look for. And I picked up something perhaps even more interesting or just as interesting yesterday. So I'm calling it a pre-show pickup, which was also unexpected, but I'm going to flip the camera around and show you real quick what I got. All right, so I hope you're all doing well. Um, so it's actually probably just early third quarter now of the Jaguars-Chiefs game. Thought I could try to knock this out really quick before I get back into watching what could be an interesting second half. Um, so, like I said, I went to the Kalamazoo. There's a card show in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Oh, it's probably 3 or 4 times a year, I'd say. It's at the local kind of like minor league hockey arena. It's like actually it's in an annex area of so it's not actually on the the ice surface or anything or the rink, but you could sort of see it from it's like an annex space. Um, 60 tables, and it was pretty good. It was pretty brisk in there today, like in terms of foot traffic. It was pretty busy. We got there. My friend Tim and I got there at around 9:30 when we walked in. It was from 9 to 3, and yeah, it was pretty hopping. I'd say the first hour we were there, and we were there till probably just after 11. And it started to. It was still a decent amount of people in there when we left, but it was a little bit lighter. But it was good to see that. Looks like people were looking at cards and buying cards, and it was good, and a lot of young people in there too, so a lot of kids, or a good number anyway. So anyway, it seemed like it was another pretty good show, and so real quick, I'll show a couple of things that I got. I got this at the very end of the show. Just this little 1973 Gaylord Perry for $2. It was in a $4 box, and it was like everything in there was half off or something. So picked this up for $2. Just that little Gaylord Perry 73. Not coming across great here. It's a little dark, unfortunately, on the camera, but we'll see how this goes. But picked that up. But the main thing, I actually picked up a few singles also for my Topps high number heritage set, so I only need one more short print, or short prints I should say. So almost got that knocked out, and I'm collecting it because I was born in 1973, and so I wanted to collect this whole set. I still need about 30 something though, in the short prints from the main heritage one from 401 to 500. I still need about 30 of them, so that'll be a at some point kind of thing. Not really a vital thing, but I do want to knock that out at some point. And I won't be collecting Heritage this year because I'm not a fan of the 74 set. But here's the thing I really wanted to show that I got at the show today. And I'm not really I'm an autograph collector. I really enjoy getting through the mail autographs, TTMs, and I really enjoyed purchasing nice autos like Topps 5-star autos, and other ones that you pick. Like I don't know, got probably a dozen or more from the Chrome Platinum Anniversary set from the 2021, the 1952 design. Those are some pretty nice autos too. Just I like picking up those Topps ones as well. I'm not typically a buyer of like JSA authenticated autos on like index cards or personal canceled checks or anything like that. I don't typically buy that kind of an auto, but there was one dealer that had an impressive stash of baseball autos, and they were all baseball, I believe, and also a bunch of autographed baseballs. And he had some pretty fair pricing on them. He had them listed for a certain price. Then he was saying take 50% off of that. So maybe he was just looking to move some merchandise. So my friend Tim bought a couple of autographed baseballs of Tony Oliva and Phil Niekro, I think, and I can't remember what he paid for them, but it seemed like really reasonable. And then I flipped through some autos, and I saw Sandy Koufax was in there, and other Hall of Famers, and at one point I asked the person like where he got these. And before he answers that, I'm just going to show you who I ended up buying because I'm 5 minutes in here. But here's what I got. I picked up an autograph of Casey Stengel today. Certainly did not go into the day thinking that I would be doing that. And I did not get this for $95, as it says on here. I got this for $45. And that just without really me looking up, like I didn't really look at prices on eBay at that point. When he said, $45, I'm just gonna get this. It's like I don't really look for these kinds of autos again, like I said. But here's the JSA auto authentication card in here with the number. And the little sticker for it is hanging out here somewhere. Yeah, it's off. It's right over here behind that. But yeah, then I went on eBay after I got home and sort of looked at the prices of like these kinds of autos, and yeah, the cheapest one I saw in the last couple of months sold for 60 something bucks. And I don't actually know if it was authenticated or not. It may not have been. So I was, I don't know. It's just, I like the marker that came out on this. That's just the way it's a really nice signature on a pretty nice kind of index card stock. And it's actually not a lined card, which is kind of cool. It's like more like an address card or something, I think he called it. So I asked him and he had Carl Hubble and he had Heine Manouche, who played way long ago, early 20th century. And then he had Sandy Koufax, and he had other like not current, I mean, from when he got these. So I basically asked the dealer, like, how did you get all these? Because it's like I'm seeing Sandy Koufax and then Heine Manouche on like the same card stock. They were all on the same card stock. And he said he bought a stash from a person who had collected them all. He said from like around 1966 or 1967, he sent out a bunch of cards to a whole bunch of people. And he collected a whole bunch of autographs, and I guess he bought a whole lot of them. The dealer bought as a lot. I don't know. I can't remember if he said it was from an estate or if it was an actual one-to-one purchase kind of thing. I didn't really get that far in the conversation, but it's a JSA authenticated Casey Stengel autograph. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with it. I'll probably frame it and just put this inside a framed kind of thing. I don't know if I'll buy like an 8x10 photo or a 5x7 photo of Stengel. I don't necessarily need to do that. Maybe I'll buy a couple of more of these and make some kind of multi-auto, index card auto framed thing. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet, but I just think it's pretty cool. So I picked that up today, and then I hinted at the beginning of this video, I got like a pre-show pickup yesterday. I was not planning to, basically, I picked up something really interesting yesterday at one of my LCSs. I've got two LCSs here in Kalamazoo. And I was just flipping through one of them yesterday, sort of popped in. And when I saw this and what he had it for, and I got about $10, I got 10 more bucks down from what was listed, what he wanted for it originally. It was a fair price, and I couldn't pass it up. And when I was getting it, I'm like, well, this blows a bit of a hole in my trade show, my card show budget tomorrow. And we chuckled about that a little bit. But here's what I got. Again, I was not expecting to get this in this weekend. I got a second-year Sandy Koufax, 1956 top Sandy Koufax. It's not coming across super great here where I have the video of this, but where I'm, kind of have this set up. But it's a nice one. It's not like nice, like won't grade a 5, likely won't grade a 4. I think it's got a good shot, and I will grade it. I bought it with that in mind. I think it's got a shot at grading a 3. It's a gray back, so it's got a little more value apparently. The low numbers in 56, I think, have more white backs than grays. So the grays, if you just look at like PSA book value, it's not a small amount of difference either in the pricing in terms of what they listed at, in terms of what I guess they're seeing sales for. But I got this for $140. He had it listed for $150, and he says he usually doesn't move on Koufax, but I'm a fairly regular. I pop in there 2 or 3 times a month, and so he knocked off $10 for me. I got this for $140. So I'll be in for about $165 when I get this graded. And 3s are going for lately on eBay well over $200. 3.5s are going for like well over 250. 2.5s or twos, still like almost 200. So it's like, again, and I didn't get it clearly just with that in mind, but it's sort of like, because this is a hold card, this is kind of not an investment card per se, but I have to think second year Sandies are just going to continue to go, gradually over time up. He's, to me, he is the second great. He's the number 2 greatest living ball player right now, behind Willie Mays. It's Willie Mays and Sandy Koufax. I could be missing someone off the top of my head, but just I was thinking about that this morning when I was like, talking with Tim about when I got this card yesterday, and I actually went into the show with the budget I kind of had left. Like, maybe I'll look for Willie Mays today, and I did see one. It was I saw a 67 that I was thinking about, and then I eventually came to the table that had all the index card autos, and I just couldn't resist the opportunity to get a Casey auto. So I picked this up yesterday as kind of a pre-show pickup, I'm calling it. And I don't know if it came through pretty well. It's got some corner stuff going, some kind of wrinkle. There's some wrinkles in a couple of corners, but there's no like peeling, so to speak. There's some paper loss. A little bit of paper loss on this edge over here, but eye appeal is pretty good on it. So when I do grade a grade, I think it's got a very good shot to be a VG. I think it's got a decent shot to be a VG plus. I think a long shot at a 4. So we'll see. But I was excited to pick that up. It's my 3rd Koufax now. I've got a 61 and a 66 as well. And I'm really happy to pick this up. I did not think that would be in my future at any point, but just, sometimes the opportunity presents itself. And then again, I picked this up. I must have a thing for managers, because I've done recent videos talking, kind of waxing poetic about Leo DeRocher, although, I'm not sure if that's like he was a fairly surly guy, although a very interesting guy. And if you can watch some interviews of his from the 70s when he was on like talk shows and stuff, the stories he tells are just, they're kind of captivating. But I guess he was sort of from another branch of a managing tree, but Casey Stengel comes from the John McGraw branch, or the tree. And then Billy Martin kind of was, was a kind of a student of Casey Stengel. And I'm kind of like, Billy Martin is a kind of tragic figure in baseball to some degree. In fact, he won everywhere he went. He did win one title, but he only won one title. Billy did, and everything else about kind of on the field and off the field with him. But I was really excited to pick this up today. I'm kind of just blabbing at this point, so I'll wrap it up. But 2 interesting legendary pickups, I guess you could say, legend Hall of Fame pickups this weekend. So that's about it for this video. I will probably have a couple more coming here in the next week. I know I haven't been doing too much so far this year, but hope you all are well, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.